Guys, welcome back. It has been, I think, like 2 months since my last video, so I'm very, very excited to film this for you. Ignore me, this is Ezra, he's in here. Don't worry, he can breathe. This is a blanket that he can, but basically he has to have his eyes covered while he's on mummy. So today, I'm gonna actually film for you guys my labour birth video. So to start off with, I was actually induced for this birth again. So I was induced for the first pregnancy with Eva, and then I decided to actually get induced again with Ezra. It was back on 40 weeks, so it was safe, my doctor approved it. So we went in on the 19th, which was lovely early morning hours as usual. And obviously the first thing they do is you sign papers, you get rested, you check into your room, and then you take the first pill. So I think when you're induced, there's a couple of ways to do it. First of all, I was given the pill and I took that at 9:30. And at this point I was 1 centimetre dilated, and you know, I was just bouncing the ball, walking around. I was thinking, yeah, this will be easy, you know, not that bad labour pains at this point. So took it, they come and checked me at 12 o'clock, and I'd only dilated by another centimetre at this point, which was very frustrating after like 2.5 hours. And to be honest, nothing was really happening with the labour contractions whatsoever. So my doctor came in, checked me and said, okay, what we're going to do is we're actually going to switch you to oxytocin. So this is where you have an IV in you the whole time, which, if I'm honest, was really annoying because every time I needed to go to the toilet or move around, I had to like walk around like an old lady with those like stick things. So took it anyway. She gave me the dosage. That kind of increased slightly the labour pains, but they still weren't that painful. Had that, she checked me an hour later and had only dilated now by another centimetre. So at this point I was 3 centimetres. I was going on the dilation station, aka the toilets, trying to open up, push through each contraction and try and open up as much as I could, but nothing was happening at this time, which again was really frustrating. So my doctor said to me she'd come back in an hour, she'd check what was going on and we'd up the dosage. So she came back at 2 o'clock, we upped the dosage because again, nothing more had happened, which kind of irritated me at this point. I think because with Eva, things was quite speedy. So she told me if by an hour nothing had happened and there was no more dilation, I would need to have my waters broke. So she came back. In that time, I really tried to do everything. I was bouncing on the ball, walking around, getting my squats in, my lunges, really like trying everything I could. Nothing happened. I still stayed at 3 centimetres. So she ended up breaking my water, which surprisingly was really weird. Like, it was like popping a balloon. Like, I could feel her like popping, if that makes sense. But once it broke, oh my God, the contractions were intense. And I think because I upped the dosage again of oxytocin, the pain was really bad, and it was like every 40 seconds. So I think naturally when you go into labour, the pain like increases gradually, so you kind of get used to it. Whereas when you're induced, you just go from like 0 to 100. And I think where she'd upped the dosage as well, and the contractions were so frequent, the pain was excruciating. But my game plan was the same as with Eva. I was like, you know what, just hold up the pain as much as you could, hold on to the tension, and then when I get the epidural, I'll relax, and then I'll just like open up again with my dilation and I'll be like ready to give birth. So that was my game plan. So I decided to suffer for 3 hours from 3 till 6, hoping that I would dilate more. And sadly, when she checked me, I was still 3 centimetres after 3 hours. Nothing had changed. So I started to cry because I was infuriated, and I thought, you know what, whatever, let's just have the epidural. I had it. The good thing about the epidural is I don't get it to the point where I'm numb. I get it where I can still walk, I can still stand, I can still move around and do what I need to do, but it makes my contractions feel like Braxton Hicks, so I can still feel that I'm still connected to my body and just not dying in the process. So I had the epidural, they checked me, again, nothing had changed, I was still 3 centimetres, and the midwife said that my cervix felt like my arm. She was like, the muscle is so hard, nothing is softening. So we need to try and figure out what to do for that. And I was like, well, I'm not quite sure what you want me to do about that, because, you know, what am I supposed to tell my cervix to do? So tried to rest, tried to like really like zen out, listen to my meditation music, and she came back to check me half an hour later. No, nothing had happened. So at this point I started to cry again because I was like, why isn't anything progressing? So then she said, we're gonna actually give you this nausea medication, because I was feeling sick from, I think, the different amounts of things I'd had, like the first induction pill, then I had the oxytocin, then it got upped another level. I think I was feeling quite nauseous from it all. So they gave me this like medication thing at like 7 o'clock, and she was like, we'll do it and then we'll check you again in half an hour. So At this point, I was getting really tired and exhausted, and I actually started to fall asleep on the bed, which I really didn't want to do again. I thought I constantly had to move, but I decided to lay on the bed, relax, zen out, kind of have a little bit of a nap. Eva's joining the story. Come in, baby, we're talking. So they gave me this medication, and again, before she checked me, I was still 3 centimetres. So she gave me the medication, she came back and checked me half an hour later. I'd gone from 3 to 9 centimetres in the space of half an hour, weirdly, just from this medication. I don't know what it was, but and I think also because I mentally was just like, I'm gonna stop fighting this, I need to just like lay down and just go to sleep, and I think that really helped. So she was like ecstatic, she was like, you're 9 centimetres. Went and got my doctor. She came in half an hour later, so this was now, I think 7:45 or something. She came in and she was like, you're 10, let's get going. So I'd literally gone from 3 to 9 to 10 in the space of like 45 minutes, which was absolute madness. So obviously at this point, let's get you wheeled in. Let's get it going. So we got wheeled in, went straight into the room, and my doctor likes to just get on with it, which I really appreciate. She's direct, she gets on to the point. So we literally got straight to the operating table, let's start pushing. So we did, it was just go for it, push, push, push. And Ezra popped out in like, I think 15 minutes was the total. So my waters broke at 3, he was born at 8:20. So it was like overall like a 5-hour labour. Eva was slightly shorter, she was 4. But I mean, the fact that he came out so quick was amazing. And then I was really lucky again, I had 1 centimetre stitch. I had 1 stitch put in, one little tiny tear, and I was able to recover really, really quickly. And I think that's because I trust my doctor, I trust my body, and I do what it needs to do. And I just really trusted the process. And again, I'm so thankful for the hospital and my doctor that I had. I had a really great experience again. The difference I would say between the first and the second was, I would definitely say the induction was harder the second time around than it was the first, which I really, again, didn't think would be the case, but it was. The labour with Eva was 4 hours in total, with Ezra it was 5, so it was slightly longer, which again is absolutely nothing, but I would say the pain was way more intense and the process felt longer because, like I said, with Eva when I had the epidural, it went like this because I managed to release that tension. But with Ezra, for some reason, even when I had the epidural, nothing was happening. But I still can't fault, like I said, I can't fault my experience. I had a really great birth. He came out, he was healthy. The hospital was amazing afterwards with my recovery and everything that they taught me, the support that I was given. Then got home to my baby girl, got to rest for a week, and then it was her birthday, so I'm glad they got 10 days difference. So overall, it's a really great experience. And of course, if you guys do have any questions about, you know, being induced or my birth, or have any questions about pregnancy and whatnot, please do comment below and I will get back to you as I can. I'm really excited now that I've started recording again, and I cannot wait to start filming you some videos. As I'm recording this, I'm 7 weeks postpartum, so I do have the all clear to start working out. Not anything crazy, just low intensity, really focusing on core and muscle connection, so I'm going to get filming that all for you very soon. But guys, I just want to say thank you so much for your patience, thank you so much for sticking with me and my support and, you know, helping me through this process, and I can't wait to start recording and getting back to my normality schedule for you all very, very soon. So thank you again, and I will speak to you all very